ISC RADIO FM. Yeti ISC RADIO FM. Islamic Sunnah Channel. Islamic Sunnah Channel.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Etiefo ayo Islamic Sunnah Channel. Yenda so yasen ehiem ewo ISC Radio FM so anda so yebedi nkomo afa Islamic morals. Islamic moral Sheikh bako ewa ha insha lebedia ebada ne fidie no yeda me Sheikh na Sheikh edien atwetwe nkomo enda so Tuesday enda Tuesday inshallah na yamfa adusua no entose Sheikh yatafaddal mashkura.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. May His peace and blessings be upon the Prophet of Islam, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his household followers, and all those who follow the path of Allah to the day of judgment. We are thankful to our Lord, our Creator, the Almighty and the most compassionate, for giving us a new day. We humbly ask Him to guide and guard all our endeavors in life and grant us the best in this world and in the hereafter. On morals this morning, we'd like to deal with another important subject. A subject that is deeply needed for the running of society at the individual and societal levels. And that is shyness. The accounts call it feria. In fact, in the literal sense, it means holding back something. And without it, society will crumble. Holding back means that a person is avoiding an ill act, a bad act, because he or she is trying to protect his or her image. Making shyness an image-driven moral trait. It has a very wonderful status. And the Prophet says, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, states, Al-haya'u min al-iman. The shyness is part of faith in the Almighty. It is part of faith because it acts as a shield between the individual and the exhibition of bad character. In fact, when it becomes absent in human life, it leads to bad character. It leads to a situation where the individual doesn't care of the bad attitude he or she is putting up. During the time of the Prophet, a young man came to him. He had committed a sin. And he came to the Prophet and asked him to seek forgiveness for him from the Almighty. And the Prophet prayed for him. He went and committed a sin and came back to the Prophet to ask Allah for forgiveness. And he repeated it the third time. Let us reflect on the words that the Prophet used for him. The Prophet said, إذا لم تستحي فاصنع ما شئت. If you do not feel shy in front of the Almighty, then go and do whatever you want, which invariably is a curse. If you do not feel shy, go and do whatever you want. It is a curse because if one is thrown away to commit all acts that border on intransigence and disobedience, that person is living but dead. Second scenario, I have often mentioned it on our episodes. Two girls, one went into marriage, and of course it is anticipated that the first night sexual activity will go on between this girl and the husband. The following morning, you'll find this girl feeling shy. And it is expected that that might be her first encounter with sex. She doesn't even want the parents to see her. She is feeling shy, even though she hasn't committed any crime. Because sex in marriage itself, the Prophet of Islam, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, says, وَفِي بُضِعْ أَحَدِكُمْ صَدَقَةٌ. That if you have sex with your wife in marriage, the Creator will bless the two of you. And the followers asked him, if somebody has lust and wants to engage the wife in a sexual encounter, it's just like food. When you're hungry, you eat food. That was the analogy the followers were drawing. So if the person engages the wife sexually, why should he be blessed? Or why should she be blessed? And the Prophet answered in the following manner. He asked the followers, if they do the act in an unlawful manner, fornication, are they not going to be punished